Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're putting on our detective hats. We're going to learn a simple, repeatable way to audit a project's tokenomics so you can cut through all that marketing hype and figure out what's real and what's, well, just a claim.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Those super slick tokenomics pages with the perfect pie charts and all the percentages laid out. They're designed to make you feel confident, like everything is buttoned up and professional. And yeah, they feel precise. That's the whole point. But that feeling, it can be a total illusion, hiding promises and plans that aren't actually reality yet.
Okay, so this slide right here, this is the core of what we're talking about today. On one side, you've got the slick marketing claim. Team tokens are locked. Sounds great, makes you feel safe. But on the other side, you have the actual on-chain proof, a real smart contract that you can check for yourself that proves it's locked. And our job as investigators is to bridge that gap.
So, one of the biggest things you have to get your head around is that these pages are often talking about two totally different things at once: what exists right now and what they plan to do in the future. Now, there's nothing wrong with sharing a plan, but the real danger is when a project kind of blurs those lines and presents future goals as if they're already set in stone today.
And that's exactly what we're here to do. I'm going to walk you through a calm, repeatable audit you can use on any project. You're going to learn how to separate the shiny claims from the hard proofs. And maybe even more important, you'll learn how to handle those gaps, how to label something as unknown without just guessing or hoping for the best.
All right, to pull this off, we need a framework. Because look, not all evidence is the same, right? It's like being a detective. You can't treat an anonymous tip the same way you treat DNA evidence. We've got to have a way to rank how strong the evidence we find actually is.
So let's call it the ladder of proof. Down at the bottom, the shakiest step, you've got stuff like screenshots and just vibes, things that are super easy to fake. In the middle, you have official company blog posts, which is better, but it's still just the company making a claim. And then at the very top, the gold standard, that's our on-chain data. That's the real unchangeable proof.
Okay, we've got our framework for judging evidence. Now let's get practical. Let's build our actual investigator's toolkit. It's a simple 5-point checklist you can run through every single time you're doing your research. First things first, the supply sanity check. This is step 0, the absolute baseline. Do the basic numbers on their website, circulating supply, total supply, even the decimals, actually match what's on the blockchain explorer? If something as simple as the total supply is off, that's a huge red flag right out of the gate.
All right, point number 2, allocations. And yeah, this is where you see all those pretty pie charts showing how tokens are split up between the team, the ecosystem, and so on. But here's the thing you have to remember. That chart is just a picture. It's a claim. It's what the project says the distribution is.
So that leads us to the single most important question you can ask. Where are the wallets? Seriously, if the chart says 20% goes to the team, then where's the public wallet address holding that 20%? If they can't show you, then that pie chart is just, well, it's just a graphic.
And that brings us to point number 3, which is honestly maybe the most important one of all. Vesting and locks. You've heard this a million times, right? Oh, the team tokens are locked for 2 years, don't worry. It's meant to build confidence, and it sounds great.
Let me be crystal clear about this. The word locked means absolutely nothing without on-chain proof. A promise is not a lock. A blog post is not a lock. A spreadsheet is definitely not a lock. The only thing that counts as a lock is a verifiable smart contract address that you can go and look at yourself. Number 4 on our list is the treasury policy. So they have this giant ecosystem fund. Great. But who holds the keys? Who can actually move that money? Is it one person's wallet? Or is it a multisig where multiple people have to sign off on a transaction? Is it run by a DAO with clear public rules? You have to know who's in control.
And finally, number 5. It's simple, but so many people skip it. Read the fine print. Look for the legal stuff, the risk disclosures. A mature professional project isn't afraid to tell you that this is risky. They're transparent about it. It actually shows they respect you and their community.
Okay, so you've gone through the checklist. You're gathering your evidence. But what about when you hit a wall? What do you do when you just can't find the proof for a claim? This is where having the right mindset is so important.
So, first off, a missing piece of information doesn't automatically mean the project is malicious or a scam. Let's be clear about that. But what it is a credibility gap. It's a question mark. Your job isn't to jump to conclusions, but to just make a note of it. Acknowledge that the evidence isn't there. And this slide shows you exactly how to think about it. The team says, oh yeah, we'll get that lock contract up later, promise. And part of you wants to believe them, right? But what does the evidence say right here, right now? It says the status is unknown. That's it. You don't fill in that blank with hope, you just label it unknown.
So let's bring it all together. If there's one core idea here, it's this. In this world, trust isn't a given. It has to be earned. And it's earned with evidence, with real, verifiable, on-chain proof, not with slick marketing.
And here it is, your final cheat sheet. This is the whole audit in a nutshell. For supply, check the Explorer. If it's off, that's a red flag. For allocations, you need to see wallet addresses. If not, red flag. And for vesting, it has to be a smart contract. A promise is a major red flag. Seriously, grab a screenshot of this. It's your new best friend for doing research.
So look, if you forget everything else, just remember this one thing. Audit claims versus proofs. And for everything in between, you'll label it unknown. No guessing, no hoping, just the facts.
Learning this process gives you a huge advantage when you're looking at a token. But it kind of opens up a new question, doesn't it? Okay, so now you know how to verify the token itself, but what about all the promises for the future? How do you audit a project's roadmap? That's a whole other can of worms, and we'll get into it next time.